Hey Soul family, welcome back to the channel. This is the White Feather Tarot, and in today's reading we are doing how much have you grown from your past self and who has your future self become. I truly feel that this is an important reading for your spiritual journey because at the end of the day, all said and done, we all came here to evolve. And so I truly believe this type of reading would help you kind of like gauge and see if you're going on the right track, how much have you done, and what's left to do to evolve. And to do this reading, we are going to be picking 3 piles together. Oh, I feel like they are there. This deck is in Italian, so I will be checking during the reading how each card is pronounced. But for now, we're just gonna take a look at the picture. All right, so for pile number 1, this, let me adjust that, there we go. This is your card. For pile number 2, this is your card. And for pile number 3, this is your card. I believe if you speak Italian, then you probably have an advantage, but maybe you're supposed to know. If you like to pick with crystals, let me add these right now. There we go. So for pile number 1, you have the cherry quartz. For pile number 2, you have the tiger's eye. And for pile number 3, you have the Sodalite. All right, so take a look at which one of these 3 piles or 3 crystals you're the most drawn to, and that will probably be the pile for you here today. As I always say, if you feel drawn to more than one pile, or maybe even all of the piles, trust that there are more messages for you to hear that will most definitely be helping you out in your spiritual journey. And as usual, you'll find the timestamps down in the description box. Click on your times and I'll see you in your readings. Hey Soul family, welcome to your shuffling and pile preparation process. It is so lovely to have you here as we prepare for your piles. And today we're doing a really interesting reading. You'll see that during the preparation we will be dividing the reading into 2 parts. First part will be about your past self, how much you've grown from your past self, and then the second part from this very same cards we'll be using to take a look at who has your future self become. So to do this reading, these are the cards that we will be using today. On the left are the oracle decks and on the right are the tarot decks. All right, so let's get straight into it. So let's ask with intention. Thank you. That came out for sure. How about we move this now here so that we have the space that we need? How much have you grown? I feel this one. From your past self. And who has your future self become? to the next deck. How I feel this one, so I'm going to take it. How much, and this one. How much have you grown from your past self? And I feel this one. Who has your future self, no, this one, become? All right. This one's sticking out. How much have you grown from your past self? And who has your future self become? Right, so now we're ready with your oracle cards for this reading, past and future. Let's now move on to your tarot cards. Ooh, there we go. Wow. Okay, so first things first. This one. What am I being drawn to by this one? Okay, thank you so much. So this one. How much have you grown from your past self? And who has your future self become? I feel this one. I'm going to take it. There we go. How much have you grown from your from your past self? Ooh. And who has your future self become? Oh, 2 cards here, right. Ooh. How much have you grown from your past self? And who has your future self become, please? 1, 2, and 3. Okay. How much have you grown from your past self? And who has your future self become? Oh, these are just ones, right? 1, 2, and 3. I feel this one as well. Weird. All right, I believe it's meant to come out this way. Okay. So, our 3 piles are now ready, past and future. Let's now put them together neatly. We'll start off with the first pile. Right, so we'll put the past on top because that's what we're starting with during the reading. And this will be our separator, the blue deck. Because that's the first deck we started with. Right, so that's our marker, the blue ones. All right. There we go. cherry quartz. Pile number 2, past on top of future first. Maybe you're meant to watch pile 3 as well, because this one moved, if you're drawn to it, of course. With the tiger's eye. Past on top. Pile number 3. With the Sodalite. So, my dear soul family, your 3 piles are now ready. I cannot begin to start... I cannot wait to begin today's reading, because I truly believe that a reading like that, in my opinion, of course, is very important. At the end of the day, like I mentioned in the intro, we came here for a specific, at the end of the day, all said and done, for a specific journey to grow, to evolve as a soul. And it would be really beneficial if we can use one of the tools that we have on earth to connect to spirit and to find out how far we've come, what our mission is, perhaps, and what we are going to be achieving in the future, who we've evolved into. Do know that the future is always in your hands. Even when you take a look at your future and see who you're going to become, you're definitely going to become that. But if you want more, if you want to tweak it, you want to change it, it's all in your hands. Always remember in tarot, the energies of the future are per the energies of today. It's all in your hands. And my dear soul family, love you guys very much. Love doing all of these readings for you and being a part of this magical, beautiful soul family that came together for a specific reason on earth. I'm happy that we are joined together. Thank you for being around, and let's begin your reading. Hi, pile number 1. Welcome to your reading. You have chosen the beautiful cherry quartz and the card Prigione. Prigione. As I've just Googled to check. It's an Italian word. I love this deck because it gives me so much ability to use my intuition. So prigione means prison. Let's see how this fits into your reading today. Let's keep it right here. And let's take a look at the rest of your cards. As you may know, we're taking a look at how much your past self has grown, which will be this part, and who has your future self become, which will be this part of the reading. Let's keep it up there. Okay, so let's begin and see. How have you grown from your past self? Yes. Right, so you have, serpent with power. How interesting. All right. This reminds me of Adam and Eve here. It's interesting that, maybe in the past you were kind of tied to a connection. Like this could be parents, this could be a relationship, this could be tied to maybe being empowered by others. Like these could even represent other people, where you felt tied to others. And so no matter what this energy represents to you, because I know it's a general reading, I can straight away see that other people's powers, whether it was your parents, teachers, managers, some people, friends, or a relationship had a lot of power over you in the past. Right. You also have courage. I love that. I think I'm gonna love. I don't think I'm already falling in love with your reading, my dear pile number 1. So have courage, and you have, what is that? Ooh, does that look like religion? No, of course not. It's the Taj Mahal. But it's funny how it hit me as religion first. Because it kind of looked like a mosque initially, like right at the very beginning. So anyways, the keywords that you have on the card are developer, dreamer, organizer, and planner. The main keyword, though, is rise of civilization. Rise of civilization. So this definitely tells us, with the rise of civilization, a civilization grows. And so here it grows. This is exponential growth, right? To have a keyword like that, the rise of civilization. So right off the bat, with your courage, I can greatly see that you have changed a lot. There's no question about that. You have grown a lot from your past self that may used to be greatly imprisoned by the powers of others. Congratulations, pile number 1. Wow. Good for you. This is not an easy energy to overcome, and many people struggle through it throughout their lives. To reach a point like that with a rise of civilization, this gives me the energy of great power. And so you have stopped other people taking your power, and you've taken power back with a lot of courage for yourself. Good job for you, my dear pile number 1. Good job. All right. So you have the Wheel of Fortune. This gives me an understanding that you have created fortune for yourself. Fortune could be, it doesn't have to be in the form of money, although it could be, of course. But you weren't waiting. It's like you did it for yourself. You weren't waiting for others to save you or for the world to save you. You decided to get up and create what you wanted for yourself. When you give your power to other people, you kind of wait for them to do things for you, like to appreciate you, or to be nice to you, or to be kind, or to be fair. Here, I see that you have managed to give these things to yourself. You've taken matters into your own hand, and with the fan, it's like cooling down. You have learned to cool down by taking power for yourself. And so this means you're not waiting for other people to give you permission to do things. Like, you're not waiting for other people to give you permission to speak. You're not waiting for other people to give you permission to do what you want in life. You're not waiting for other people to give you an opportunity in life. I see that the biggest evolution that you have done in this lifetime, one of the big things that you were meant to come here and do, and one that you have achieved, is to do things for yourself by taking, that was one of the big things you were here to do, taking power in your own hands, your power in your own hands, and to do things for yourself. Whether this has to do with small things or big things, whether this has to do with waiting for others to befriend you, or you choosing who you want to be friends with and who you don't want to be friends with, and choosing to create your own fate and not wait for others to help you, give it to you, in other words. And so you grew out of victim mentality, thinking that you're helpless, to absolutely feeling like the whole world is in your hand. You can do whatever you want. And that greatly involves taking power from other people, taking your power from other people, because it doesn't belong to them. It belongs to you. So it shouldn't be there in the first place. Okay. Wow, such a beautiful card. You have the Knight of Wands. This looks playful, this Knight of Wands. You know how children, they would ride these horses and they would rock back and forth and enjoy and have fun and start dreaming and feeling like they're actually riding a horse, right? And it's in the meadows here. So I see here that you have become more positive. Now that you know that you have the capability to do what you want, you are set free, is what I want to say. You're set free. With the horse rocking in its place, it's also giving me another layer to the interpretation. I'm also seeing, even though that now you're free, and it looks to me like the world is your oyster now, and you know when we say the grass is greener on the other side, the grass is green and vibrant on your side, and there are a lot of flowers, it's spacious, it's evergreen. I feel like although you started feeling hopeful towards the future and you're moving forward now, with the horse rocking, I feel like you've just made this realization. You've just evolved. I think there's this idea where you've just evolved, and so that's why you're not feeling stuck anymore. You could have begun your journey, but at the same time, you are still learning. You know how when you ride a bicycle, now that you have the courage to ride the bicycle, you've grown muscles as a child, and you want to now explore riding a bicycle like your siblings. And so your parents, they get you these supporting wheels. So you can't completely say that you've absolutely learned how to become an expert at riding the bicycle, but you're there and you're riding it and you're free, but you're supported. So I feel like you are at this phase where with the childhood appearing, it's like you're at the very early stages of taking your power, and that's there. You've held it, no one can take it from you any longer. But it's kind of like you're now learning to navigate this power. Power is huge energy, right? You took it back. You took something that you're not used to, right? And so it's a big thing, you know? You know how when you're like, I have the right to handle my bank account, maybe a rich kid would say, right? And they're like, okay, fine, here you go. And you're like, oh, wait, well, how do I pay taxes? How do I make the right decisions? Okay, what do I do with this power now that I have it? So power is big, and you have it. And so that's why we see in the card that it's evergreen. No one can take that from you anymore, just like that rich kid who got their bank account. But now, with that, you still have a way to go to learning how to navigate it the right way. You'll make some decisions that are right, and you'll go, wow, bingo, I knew I was always good at that. And then sometimes you may make wrong decisions that will teach you a lot of things. And so here, with the Knight of Wands specifically, I don't see you being afraid. You've grown your wings. And that's very critical. And that's part of your growth, which you've perhaps learned in the past, especially with half courage. Knight of Wands, half courage. You've grown the courage. You're okay now with things not working out. You're not afraid of that anymore, which makes me understand that you've grown wisdom. And now when things go wrong, you're like, okay, so that was wrong. Maybe it's not a good idea to do that anymore. Next time, I think I'm going to do that. It doesn't hit your heart. You're not into the victim mentality anymore. You're like, okay, so that happened. Next time, I'm going to deal with it like this and this and this. And it doesn't even hurt you at the moment. It's pure feedback to you, and it doesn't take away from your power and your passion. Such a cool reading. You have, the Page of Wands. I do see that you have, or maybe you still are. Maybe you still are. We'll see with the rest of your cards. You've gone through tricky times. Like as you were growing here, you felt like you could have fallen or slipped, or things could have cracked beneath you anytime. And perhaps, like I said, maybe you are going through that. We'll find out together. I think these may not be in the right place. I think I need to put them here. All right. You have the Chariot. Obviously, you're moving forward. There's no question about that. You have, I love your energy. You have the Page of Pentacles. You're so happy. You're on a new journey now as you're exploring this new power. You feel free is what I can tell you. You have the World card. Again, we can see you finished an old cycle successfully. All we're talking about now pertains to the now, the next chapter, as you've just evolved from having your power being taken from you. You have the Five of Wands. Yeah, you feel definitely feel here with the Five of Wands. I love this energy. Why? Because you now feel you're an equal to your opponent, or an equal to your challenge, and not less than. Yes, your challenge is here to challenge you for a reason, but it's not here to take your power away. It's here to enlighten you with something, to further grow. And that's the whole idea. And you have the Ten of Swords. Okay. Bees always remind me of how there's this misconception that bees can't fly as per physics, and there's a big reason for that. The reason is they're heavy, and so flying makes it seem impossible for bees to fly. But what I read is, if I got this correctly, is that as they move their wings really quick, they create these hurricanes that help lift them. So my whole point here is that you've overcome a very strong... Here, this card sums, or is the highlight of the reading from your past. This is where things changed completely. I'm not surprised, because this is the Ten of Swords. And 10 is an end of a cycle. 10 of Swords, if you take a look at the Rider-Waite-Smith, which is the classic tarot, if you're wondering. Not the oldest, but the classic tarot. You will see a figure depicted being face down on the ground, and there are 10 swords on their back, giving us the idea that this person feels like there's absolutely no way for them to get up. It's like they are beaten, everything is against them, and they can't get up. And this is why I mentioned, I believe that this card sums up everything, because it gives us the same idea of that helplessness that we see with the prison, with prigione, I think. Yeah. So, 10 of Swords is in conjunction to the Chariot. And we see someone here now well equipped, strong, fierce, determined, and is moving forward. So what I wanted to say sums up this whole energy is that you've had a misconception that you couldn't get up, that you couldn't take yourself, that you had to be under the power of others, whether others represent the energy of getting a job or other people or being controlled or pleasing them or whatever this was. And you felt heavy. You felt like you couldn't get out of it. And it just had to be the way that it was. But bees do fly. And this was a great misconception. And so you've understood that you always had wings to fly and that you were always free. But you never flied because maybe you were afraid to fall, thinking that you couldn't fly. And so just like the correction here, this sums up your reading because you've had a correction in your mind. You've maybe questioned if this very belief that brought you down all your life was true. And so, can you believe this? I believe that you've ended a cycle by simply changing your, oh, yes. I think this is true because I initially saw this as a religion, and religion is belief, right? So I think you have changed your belief about something, an idea, especially with the swords. Swords are the mind. With an idea that you had. And this simple idea was the reason that brought you down the whole time. And so you were able to have courage once you've realized that this very thought is a misconception. Ending this imprisonment for the rest of your life. So you've definitely graduated from that, and that's no longer an issue. But look at that. Isn't it funny how the Page of Wands, and these are two different decks. What? Oh my God. I think I need to reflect more on that. They're both standing on sticks, and they're both holding sticks. So this kind, I'm sorry. This talks about the very thing that we've noticed here. Remember when I talked to you about the bicycles with the supporting wheels? This definitely confirmed, hey, wait up, pile number 1. Yes, you have graduated from the thought, but the action with the wands, you're still treading on risky grounds or treading on thin ice is exactly the expression. Be careful. Why do you have this warning? Oh my God, even here, I'm sorry, as your reading is just blowing my mind. This vehicle has the supporting wheel and it's really big. So before you're comfortable on treading on these expert tiny wheels, you're really at a stage where you've graduated completely from the thought. Now it's the experience of how to use that thought. So let's think of examples. Let's say you've graduated from the idea that you had to please your parents and do the job that they've always wanted. And you've taken your decision. You're like, I love you, parents, so much. You will always be dear to me. I'll always take care of you, but I'm sorry. My life is my life. And I'm definitely changing jobs and I'm doing what is right for me. So maybe let's just think, maybe you're working and at the same time, maybe these are the two sticks. You're working and now at the same time starting to build that other career. Maybe you've always wanted to be an actor or an actress or a writer or a life coach or anything that may not appease to your parents in that example. So you've already taken action. You are building that career on the other side as you are working, because you can't just let it go, right? So at the moment you're on thin ice. And now that you're moving towards your true self, towards your true self, and towards your true potential. You're learning that you have to now understand more about the world that you're getting into. So you apply to these acting, what is it called? Acting auditions. You realize maybe you need a representative, you need to do this, you need to do that. And sometimes you're so good, you're like, people meeting you, they're like, you are a natural, you can do this, you can do that, we love you. But then maybe you're stuck in specific roles. You have to figure it out. It's a journey, right? And at some point, you learn the key things about this journey. You understand how to come to auditions prepared, what agencies to go to, how to prepare for the roles that you are eager for. Do you need to prepare some sort of CV? Do you need some sort of experience? Do you need to change your looks maybe? Do you need to speak another language? Then maybe they would take you for that role, whatever it is. And you're like, fine, now I know all the things that I need to do. I'm going to get to them. And you're building. And now you're very busy because you're working on your job and you're working fearlessly towards that you journey. And once it starts establishing, you get a hit and you're like, oh, I'm free. I got the job that I want. I started my career. I made it. And you will make it. Pile number 1, whatever this is about, whether it's a personal journey, personal power, that with the rise of civilization, you're all about going up. You will be reaching what you want and more. You can see her even like it's a short journey. What is it? It took 2 steps with these sticks. Next step, they're out of it. So it's not going to take you so long. But you're in the process of training because you're collecting information on how it's done. You're getting feedback on what's wrong and what's right and how to tread through it carefully, just like a bicycle. And by time, you'll feel like, hey, I don't need these anymore. I've tried my brother's wheels several times. I made it. I know how to now be careful. And in no time, my dear pile number 2, you will find that it's doable. It's very easy. You will learn to take your feedback really well, what goes wrong, what goes right, as long as you're trying. And you will find yourself being able to fly free and achieve the very thing that you've always wanted. You will be able to handle that type of power. It's going to be in your hands and you're going to know how to handle it. You don't need any assistance any longer. And you will be able to handle that power. It's going to be completely yours. That's exactly what I see in your reading. It's really interesting how your reading in the past shows us a glimpse into the past and the past thoughts and where you are today, and even how you're developing with that, because it seems like it's in a present energy here. You're still maybe struggling to make it happen. But the most important thing is that your mind has shifted. You found the right frequency of thought. And once you find that, you can never go back, because you understood what was wrong. It's like when you have a certain ailment, or your feet hurts, or your arm, and it keeps hurting, or you have a headache and it hurts every single day. And by luck, you have a change in thought. You finally find a great doctor or a great, article or something, that a medical article that provides you with the key information of why things are going wrong and why you're getting these headaches. And you're like, oh my God, so that's why I've been getting headaches. I do consume a lot of sugar. Maybe that's what it is. So I'm just giving a quick example here. So you're like, okay, I'm cutting off sugar, and then you realize, hey, you're at a time where you really need to cut off sugar 100%, and you're like, I did. And then your doctor tells you, do you not know that they actually put sugar in bread? What? They put sugar in bread? Did you know that this package that you think is only macaroni, mac and cheese, has sugar? What? And you discover all these things. that you didn't know about. And so you're like treading here, you're getting to know more about how to navigate with the information that you got. But once you found out, there's no way back, because you have this thing that's keeping you stuck. You finally found the solution. You're not letting that go, and you can't go back, especially with these headaches. And at the moment, you're learning how to take all of these sugars out and to finally be free. And day by day, you find that your headaches are getting smoother. Is that a word? No. Your headaches aren't hurting as much. They're becoming softer. They're becoming more in the background. And day by day, you will find yourself completing the cycle. Your headache doesn't hurt you. And it's the thing of the past. And you find yourself being able to do your errands, do your work, do whatever is necessary. It doesn't hurt you anymore because you found that key thing that used to hurt, used to cause these headaches, the root cause. And this is exactly what I see, your evolution from your past, how you have grown. So mentally, you have absolutely grown. And what you're doing now is applying this knowledge and learning how to navigate with it. That's exactly what I see, my dear pile number one. I love your story. I love your power. And yeah, I love your power. You know, it's like taking power from someone who is very powerful. And you're taking it now into your own hands. My dear pile number one, that was your past reading. Let me clear the table and begin with your future reading. All right, my dear pile number one, let's check who has your future self become. Let's start off with your oracle cards. So you have, wow, I'm not surprised. Spiritual impeccability with the wizard. Yeah, you've grown a lot of power, that's for sure. Look at the lion here. Amazing. In fact, you have a unicorn here, and it shows me that energy of you being in a very unique place. Let's explore more of that. What is that unique place? Unique in terms of the type of power and thoughts and wisdom you've accumulated, and where you are on the journey of life. Pile number one, you know, I saw this, I didn't want to say it, but I'm going to say what I'm intuitively feeling. This part reminds me of a card in a deck called Heavenly Bodies, and we see in the North Node how someone has reached their destination with the North Node, giving me an impression that you are towards the very end of your journey on Earth. Maybe you won't reincarnate again, maybe one more time, maybe that's the last one. I feel like you're towards the very end here. Okay, let's now take a look at the rest. Wow, your cards are pretty strong. You have transform. Wow. Okay, what do you have here? So here we have lower class, famine, dispossessed, beggar with poverty. All right, and we see a child here. Let's keep it here and we'll see what this is all about in a second. How about I keep your crystal here? Right, now let's take a look at your tarot cards. All right, that's better. So you have the Knight of Pentacles, and look at that again. Wow, I feel like you're on a new mission here for sure in the future. Okay, it's like you're ever growing. That's why you have transform. You don't stop, do you, pile number one? Amazing. But the vehicle has become bigger, you've become stronger, and you have bigger goals now. All right, you have the Three of Swords. You have training again. Eight of Pentacles. You're always on it. You're always on it, my dear pal number one. I love that about you. You have the Two of Swords. Okay. You have the Tower card. You have the Ace of Wands. Lovely. Ooh, and you have the Strength card. And look at you being chilled. You're no longer afraid. Love that. You're like, would you like some pie? Okay. And you have the Four of Wands. So, I'm very curious about this. Let me begin here. What is going on? You look to me like the power is in your hands in the future. It's like you're serving others. You're no longer in a certain game. Like you're no longer in a power struggle because you've learned to take that power. And so now you're serving other people who are less fortunate because you understand so much what it's like to feel like you have power, lack power. In fact, now taking a look at this, I feel like you're designing these wheels, supporting wheels that you once rode, to help present to others a way that they can feel empowered. And that's what we see doing here with the Eight of Pentacles. Isn't that interesting? A wizard is someone who has a lot of knowledge, has reached a height in spirituality. They've learned to control themselves. They've to control their desires, I mean. They now have full power. So I would see your cards showing me that in the future, you are in a place where you're so blessed and transformed to an extent where you have the power to serve others who might be feeling less fortunate or maybe feeling pain. You have a lot of empathy to you, my dear pile number one. And I think you're going to be surprised that despite the fact that you in the future may be living in a time where people around you could be experiencing a lot of chaos. Some people may be, sorry. Let me adjust that. What's wrong? There we go. Some people may be losing their jobs because there's a guy in a suit here. I see your energy rather balanced. And I see you training others to be able to come out of their ailments, come out of... you're following your North Node. That's it. I see you in your future, someone who's serving, someone who's there to serve. You, I believe, in the future, you've gotten your power, you've achieved your dreams. With power, this entails everything. You're able with the wizard to attract things that you want towards you. You have a lot of knowledge. It's like in the meadows. Again, you're in a unique position with the unicorn. I was waiting to see what the unicorn was trying to show us. And so, in a time where others have lost their power, you are going to be very fortunate. I don't think at all that I think you've overcome your loss of power in the past so that you are able to help others in the future with the type of power that you have. And it's like as if your whole life was a training wheel preparing you for a time like that. And it's really interesting because I think if you look in retrospect and you're like, if you ever thought in the past, why are these things happening to me? Why is everyone okay? Why am I the one who doesn't have their power? Why did my parents do that? Or why did my environment do that? Or whatever it was that you were really feeling hurt about, and lack of power, and felt like you've lost your power over. This situation is going to be the very reason you are in the future going to be one of the unique lucky ones who will have power and will live in an evergreen place, will be very lucky. Whereas other people, and keep your balance, whereas other people are falling, you'll be able to save yourself. You'll be always able to take yourself out of the situation and help train others and pick them up. So you're definitely you were being prepared in the past. You would never think in a million years, perhaps, that you would be taking on a role like that and being in that powerful position. Where in a time that may be falling apart, you're stable, you're good, and you're using that power to serve others, like I mentioned, who are less fortunate than you. I keep seeing this amazing house here. Again, castle everywhere. I wonder, why do you have that castle? You know what? No, let me think. Why do you have like a castle everywhere? Castles are a symbol of what? Sovereignty. They're a symbol of power, dominance. They're a symbol of wealth, safety, of course, because it's a home. So, castle here again. So, yeah, I mean, that couldn't be a coincidence. So, you have a lot of power in your future. To me, with the North Node, I feel like you have managed to achieve your dreams, and now you're fully being used to help people, to help the world, to help the planet, to help others. You're very busy. You're not, you're serving. You're not just like chilling, and taking your martini somewhere on a beach. Although, you could be, of course, having fun. Nothing wrong with that at all. But I mean, you seem to me like a busy person, especially with all the factories. There's no time here to have fun, especially when you're seeing others are falling. And I see you celebrating with others. You're saving others from drowning. And the rest of your life, in your future, you're very dedicated with the lower class to help those with lower chances, lower opportunities, lower luck and lower power. And not only, that expression of don't give me a fish, but teach me how to fish. I think that's what you're doing here. You're serving others by truly helping them how to navigate and get out of a situation, how to find their balance, how to think right. Also, a lot of you could be dealing with people's shadows, teaching them how to have the wisdom to think right, showing them with the swords that these are ideas that are the very reason for their pain. With the earring here on this person's ears, I believe you're going to say things that people are always going to remember, that will help them be strong. So you're all about training others as you have trained yourself. And it's a very cool pile, my dear pile number one, because I was like, so what are you going to be in the future? And it's very philanthropical in nature. Given the fact that you're feeling happy, powerful, comfortable, in command of your life, and you're like, now it's time for me to help others get a grip on their lives as well. And at the end of the day, the Four of Wands speaks of a milestone, celebrating a milestone in life. A milestone, a milestone could be things like marriage. It could be things like reaching a certain success that you've wanted for your career or your job, and so on. This is catching my attention. I'll get to it in a second. But here, I feel like with reaching the milestone, you've reached and succeeded in this lifetime. Because, in lifetimes, we don't always necessarily succeed in what we came here to do. We agree on certain things we want to do, but we always have free will. And so we might not always go in the direction that we've decided to go and do. I feel here with the Four of Wands, you have reached great success with what you've come here to do on this planet. And not only that, you've been helping others along the way. It's like you've reached it early, you've done a great job, you've gotten the blessings, and you're spending your time being of great benefit to others. I feel like you have great empathy. And I feel like your mission has to do with showing others. Do you see how this finger is touching the sword? How, without knowing that they're hurting themselves through their shadow, and to think right. So for a lot of you, you're doing something to help people's minds, which we saw at the beginning. Your mind's now protected. You're very strong mentally. You have a lot of mental fortitude. And so your work involves teaching others, at least in the future. At least in your future, your work definitely involves helping others. Maybe this talks about a time where you finally finished doing, succeeded doing the things that you wanted in your career, and now that you have free time, you are helping others in this way. Or it could be your career. Who knows? But your future self, my dear pal number one, like I said, has gone from zero to hero. My goodness. I mean, if you say your story, it would be almost unbelievable. And your future self is living with so much power, dominance, wealth, and you're really helping others. That's exactly what I see with the Four of Wands as well. Maybe you're married in the future. That could be another layer to the Four of Wands. In all cases with the Four of Wands, I see a lot of milestones being achieved. Whatever goals that you have, I really see that you have achieved them all. Maybe this is representing you and your family being very happy and blessed for having a beautiful life and helping others. This is exactly what I see for you, my dear pile number one. It was such a beautiful reading. I wish you the best of luck with what's to come in your future and with your current developments. May you always be blessed. And if you've enjoyed this reading, please give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel so that you never miss a reading that I upload. And please don't forget to check out my 2 productivity books. My dear pile number one, I believe these 2 books could truly help you out in your journey. You're all about growing and transforming, so you might just want to see how these books can help you. The Productivity Handbook teaches you how to become a productive person right away as soon as you finish this book, through techniques that are mind-shifting. It teaches you how to tackle even the most intimidating tasks. It teaches you how to keep on top of your list and be productive. It teaches you how to do it the healthy way, because productivity is not about suffering. Otherwise, at some point, you're just going to drop it. And so it teaches you how to actually enjoy the journey. That's what it's all about. It teaches you how to not depend on motivation, because as a beautiful feeling as motivation is, it does come and go. And when it's there, that's wonderful. When it's not, you learn how to get up, do what you want, enjoy it, and get closer to the dreams that are calling for you and achieve them. And if you're interested in checking it out, you'll find a link to this ebook down in the description box. There's, by the way, also an audiobook if you love listening to your books. And While you're there, you might also want to check out the productivity e-cookbook. It was also done with so much love. I partnered with a nutritionist that I really love and believe in to bring out this project to you. I felt it was so important. This e-cookbook has 210 recipes of healthy and delicious meals that are cooked in a matter of minutes, giving you the rest of the day to do what is important for you. There are clear nutritional values, clear instructions, a clear picture of what to expect. The navigation is a breeze. You click on the recipe that you want to check out, it takes you straight to the page. There is, of course, breakfast, lunch, snacks, dinner, salads, smoothies, desserts, you name it. It's all in there. And if you're vegan, I got you. There's a vegan version. If not, you can even make use of both e-cookbooks. There are no duplicate recipes. And this way you'll have a plethora of healthy and delicious meals that are cooked in a matter of minutes in your repertoire for the rest of your life. And if you're interested in checking it out, you'll also find a link to this ebook down in the description box. And my dear pile number one, thank you so much for tuning in, and I'll catch you in the next reading. Bye. Hi, pile number two. Welcome to your reading. You have chosen the beautiful Tiger's Eye, as well as this card. I said I would check it. Hold on. So this is in Italian, La Leggerezza, which means, as I've just seen, lightness. Something is lightness. All right, so let's see how this fits into your reading. We are going to check out your past self, how you have grown from your past self first, before we take a look at what your future self has become, or who has your future self become. Okay, so excited. Let's take a look at your oracle cards first. Ooh, you have a spider with patterns. You have pause for reflection. Interesting. And you have leader. So the card is called leadership, and the keywords are leader, ruler, follower, and boss. Let's keep it here. And let's take a look at your tarot cards. So you have the Three of Pentacles. Look at this person. Wow. All right. Could you be building something here maybe? Let's see. You have the King of Swords. Interesting. How have you grown? Because you seem pretty powerful to me here. Maybe this is the future energy, how you've grown. Let's see. You have, look at this Four of Swords. Isn't it cool? You can see they're growing their wings. It's kind of like hibernation. Pausing for a while in life. Almost feeling dead because this figure is underground. But it was preparing you to grow. I'm starting to see where this is going. Okay, so the Four of Swords. You've definitely gone through a period here where you felt like either your life was over, you felt like you were dying, and your heart was aching. It's certainly your mind was hurting you a lot. And you have gone through a very difficult situation in which you felt really entrapped. You felt like the world was evil with a spider here was building your trap. Or were you building your trap? I'm not sure. We'll find out. But all in all, you felt entrapped. You felt like the world kind of got you. And perhaps the King of Swords here is someone who's very powerful that was in a resting period. Because here the King of Swords is sleeping as well. You do have pause for reflection. Interesting. All right, so let's move on. I'm starting to see the energy of this pile. You have the Queen of Pentacles, and although I love this Queen of Pentacles, you do see the children feeling very tired. Maybe your inner child was really tired. and you were maybe, with the Three of Pentacles here, collaborating with your inner child to feed it. You were nurturing maybe your inner child. You've gone through an important journey of nurturing your inner child that felt very painful. Yes, I think it does have to do with your inner child and a big fear during your maybe childhood. You have the Nine of Swords, something that brought you a lot of fear from the childhood. Yes, you have the Eight of Swords, and that fear kept you stuck. That's probably the underground here. Oh, I think I'm getting it. So that fear from childhood maybe kept you away from participating in life. And you have the Eight of Pentacles. This is mastery. So that's why you have the leader here. And of course you have lightness. You took a lot of heavy weight off of your shoulders and you have grown. You've grown wings that helped you be free and fly, because here is stuck energy. The past seems to be super stubborn and stuck and hurt, afraid, lacked the energy and the motivation to move. And you nurtured yourself so much. How did you nurture yourself? I'm getting motherly energy. Kind of like, I think here, you were so kind to your inner child. You paused for a while. You're like, okay, we're going to pause everything. We're going to pause goals. We're going to pause everything. Most important thing here, pause for reflection. Yeah. Most important thing here is that I am okay. That my inner child is okay. Were probably your thoughts. And you have the World card. You have completed this lesson that we're taking a look here. Wow. Well, whatever you've done, my dear pile number 2, you must be a hero, because this is like entrapment. This is an energy of fear that causes, what is it? I can't remember the word, but it's trapped and helpless. Where as a child, you could have felt like your power was taken away from you, from someone who had a leadership position over you. They were taking your power away from you, whether they realized it or not. And although this feeling of helplessness kept you entrapped, especially mentally, for maybe years, like you're feeling stuck, you feel like you can't get out of it, slowly but surely, you were growing your wings with thoughts, because I see a lot of enlightenment in the hair, and especially with the King of Swords. But it was a power sleep. Because although there was a long pause in your life, it seems in the past, of maybe not doing much, this pause was very nurturing to the soul. You kept getting one realization after the next. You were year by year or week by week, month by month, empowering your inner child. Taking care of your inner child the way it was meant to be taken care of in the past. So although that leadership position wasn't filled properly in your childhood, you have done one great job of giving your inner child just that, nurturing it in the right way. Perhaps you've given your inner child enlightened ideas that helped grow its wings, that it was supposed to grow at an early age. You have given it ultimately the freedom to grow wings, to fly, and not to feel entrapped any longer. And I see most of your work and nurture has been of a mental nature. you have made a lot of thinking, and that's what we call introspection. You've done that beautifully right there. What type of introspection? I think you put things in order with the King of Swords. You put ideas in the right place. So most of these ideas seems to have had to do with fears and how to take these fears that are out of proportions, that don't make sense, that used to scare you in the past, scared you in the future, kept you stuck in the future. How to take these fears and realize that they are in fact false. And that's why with the Eight of Pentacles, I see that you have mastered your thoughts and emotions during this resting phase. And so that's why you have lightedness here, because with this rest and reflection, deep reflection, you were able to take off of your shoulders heavy weight that was keeping you stuck, afraid. And I feel like I can't remember this word, deliberated or something. If you know what I'm trying to say, please let me know in the comment section. It's driving me crazy trying to remember. No, not decapitated, of course, but I can't remember. It kept you stuck for so long, unable to move. And your biggest win of how you've grown from your past self, the biggest win is mastery over your thoughts and emotions. And pile number 2, I think this is something that we all wish to achieve. And this is something that you have achieved in an area that truly made you feel afraid and stuck. So congratulations on that. You have truly taken care of yourself. You must be proud of yourself, and you must know exactly what I'm talking about here. And although you might be looking in retrospect and thinking, oh my God, this pause in life must have taken years off of my life. But really, it's a pause that will help you move forward in life like a strong leader that moves very quickly. You know, I always love to give this analogy, but it's like a bow and arrow. You take a few steps back, yes, but that's to create momentum, stored energy, potential energy, in order to move quickly in the future towards the right target. And so if you feel that you had to take so much of your life to unstuck yourself and to heal something a leader should have done, make no mistake that this pause in your life was the cause of you blossoming and doing things in your life, moving forwards in a much quicker, stronger way, because you have become the master. My dear pile number 2, you have become the master. You know exactly what to do, how to make things done, how to deal with a situation now. You know, you're not stuck anymore. You have the scissors. You can always cut it for yourself and remodel the situation to fit you. It's like you have control. Nothing can stand in your way. You always know how to cook it, prepare it, tailor it to the way that you want it. And the reason for that is that you have cut yourself free from any thoughts that used to make you or anyone really stuck. And because you have that type of control over your emotions and thoughts, it's like they're serving you, but they're not attacking you anymore. Having that type of control helps you do whatever you want and need in life. And that is a mega superpower, my dear pile number 2. You must be so proud of yourself. That's why you were drawn to the tiger's eye. This is a crystal all about gaining strong personal power. And so here, I see you've ended a chapter, a very, this was no easy challenge. I don't think, looking at your cards, anyone has gone through a long period like that with long years of pausing this way to figure something out the way you have. And that's why you're a master, maybe more than anyone you know. These years, although they look from the outside like they're wasted years, but look at this figure. Half asleep, half open, half resting, half, having an open eye to understand what's going on, to reflect, to think, to open their eyes to what's going on. Again, closed eye, open eye. You've never let it go is what I'm understanding here. And you yourself have become that leader. You have this boss leadership energy to you. I believe this means you are someone who is in control of life. You're a strong personality now, a strong character who's able to think for themselves and create the life, co-create the life that they want. Such an inspirational reading, my dear pile number 2. Is this a swing? No. Here I believe you have grown from an inner child that was so afraid and dare not do anything, to a great leader who is strong. The inner child carried a lot of energy that was too heavy on it. That's why we have sleeping all the time. It was so deliberating. No, it was so heavy that it caused years of deliberation. To take that heaviness off of your shoulders and feel free. And with that freedom came a lot of power. No one can tie you down anymore. Nothing, no energy can keep you stuck like that anymore. No. Pile number 2. Nothing ever moving forward with that type of mastery in thought and emotions can keep you stuck again this way. You have a strong character now, and you are the leader of your own world. You're able to do whatever you want, so long as you always have that mastery over your mind and heart. And just like a king, no one can overpower you. I feel like you're on the top here with that type of strength. So congratulations, my dear pal number 2. You must be proud of yourself. If I were you listening to this reading, I'd probably be smiling from ear to ear. Very proud of myself. Very proud of you, my dear pal number 2. Wow. What a reading. This is the energy that I see from your past self, how you have grown. Let's now check where you're going to go from here and who has your future self become. All right, let's see who your future self has become. We'll start off with your oracle cards. Wow. So you have the mirror with perception. Look at that dragon there. Okay. The mask has fallen off. You can see here that this figure is in control of putting on the mask and taking it off. I wonder why, though. We'll find out. The heart was inverted and now it's solid the right way up on the chest. Perhaps a healing of the heart chakra. A healing of personal power. Oh my, such beautiful cards. Offer up gratitude. I feel such power coming from this card. I wonder, I'm so curious. You have, ooh, what is that? So cool. So the card is named Rebel, right? We see freedom with that bus, going anywhere you like. So with this, you have nonconformist, activist, revolutionary, anarchist. Wow. So cool. Yeah, okay. Before I jump into conclusions, let's take a look at your your tarot cards. Wow, look at that. 7 of Cups. It feels like the world is your oyster. 7 of Cups has to do with many things, but one of the meanings that really stand out to me in the 7 of Cups is having big dreams. Dreams that are so big that they're sometimes seen as fantasies. You even see here the flowers talking. You know, if you tell your story to anyone, they'd be like, yeah, right. But you are experiencing that. So let's find out more. Perhaps this is what it has to do with the mask here. I don't know. You have, ooh, wow, the Page of Swords. I think you're going to have a really cool life story in your future. Pile number 2. You have the 6 of Swords. I feel with the 6 of Swords that people are slowly catching up to you mentally. You're very far ahead, it seems. Okay, anyways, let's see the rest of the cards first. I keep being very curious about your pile. Queen of Cups. You have really interesting cards. That's why. You have the 2 of Pentacles. Looks like there's a belly dancer here. Dancing to the rhythm, maybe to the rhythm of life. You have the Lovers card. And you have the 2 of Cups. It's like, remember in your past where your inner child was so tired? Here, I feel like there's a lot of self-love. Your inner child, can I say, has grown and matured, and there is like solid power here. You're not in a fight with yourself. You have united, can I say, united strength with yourself. You can even see here, it's like your thoughts and emotions go hand in hand with what you want to do. They're not standing in your way. They are joined with you. You have great power with that. And so 2 of Cups would be love, but here there's a lot of self-love, a lot of harmony. Inner harmony is exactly what I'm seeing. Ooh, and you have the 4 of Cups, kind of like living in your own bubble here. And maybe protected from the world, but in a good way. Oops, so sorry, let me adjust that. There's something so interesting about your future self. It's almost super hard to believe, but see, first thing, with offer up gratitude, I really do in fact see the energy of great gratitude in your future. You're living a world that you really love with the Queen of Cups. You're enjoying your world. I see a double world here going on in your future self. Something so interesting, and you're like belly dancing so masterfully between these two worlds. See, with the 4 of Cups here, this specific 4 of Cups, I see that you are kind of protecting your life one way or the other. You're making sure that you protect your bubble. And so you are living some sort of non-conformitist life where you are living in a dream world. Maybe this dream world isn't going to be something that everyone understands, or maybe it's going to be different in one regard or the other from the outside world, but it's a world that suits you, that makes you very happy. It's in fact your dream world. And I see, for one reason or the other, maybe a secret that you're kind of hiding from the world because the world may not kind of accept it in the future. But it makes absolute sense to you. You're living your true authentic self. You're living the way you want to live. And I'm so curious for you. Yes. See, with the Six of Swords, you're way ahead mentally in the future. You're like, when is society going to catch up to me? And see the beauty on the other side. So I don't know how this translates in the future, but looking at the past, I can give you examples from the past and see how that translates into your future. So examples of the past, like a way long time ago, last century, perhaps women couldn't work, right? Didn't have their rights. So if I was doing a tarot reading from someone back then in the past century, I would tell this person, oh, your future looks like, if I was talking back then to a woman, I would say, well, it seems like in your future, you're doing something that's non-conformitist. You are going to be working. And that person would go, oh, working? And I would say, yes, but how? I mean, women aren't allowed to work. And I would say, well, it looks like you are way ahead in your age. You're enjoying that life so much. Maybe you didn't tell everyone about it, but you're so happy to be able to be a business person, to create your dreams and to, make your inventions and to go out there and to create your world and travel and do all of the things that you would love to do, such as a man would back then. But you're not really telling at least the people in your direct society so that you can live a peaceful world, And so you're belly dancing between these two worlds where in such a smart way, you know how to live this free life where you're going out there and making your wildest dream comes true, to the extent that if you tell anyone in your world, you know what? I'm a woman who works and travels and does this and I pay salaries, they will go, right. But you are. And so you're not someone who, you're very smart. And with the belly dancing here, you're shuffling between the two worlds in a very soft, beautiful way, where you know how to live this world, but at the same time, you're not ostracizing yourself from society. And you have this bubble. You're protecting this bubble, but there's glass, which means you're experiencing your outside world pretty normally, living your life pretty normally. But it is a taboo. And just like this card and hiding, and if you're wondering why am I hiding this card, is because of new YouTube rules. A lot of my videos have been in the past got age restricted and limited, and most people couldn't see it, and they had to take special permissions to see them because there are new rules to the depictions on the cards, or depictions in general on YouTube. But anyways, moving on from that, I feel like this is actually symbolizing something. There's a lot of hidden energy. You're doing what you love and you're passionate for, but society hasn't caught up to you in the future. And you have the guts and the power to have that type of freedom. I feel like only people hearing your story would feel like it's almost a fantasy to live that type of life. So you're very free in the future. You are doing your own thing. You have an open mind to do what is right for you, and you're very grateful for your life. And perhaps your past life was preparing you and preparing your strength to be able to handle that type of life, because I see you courageous and strong. But at the same time, you know that society may be a bit slow and you're like, yeah, I do hope you catch up. Look at that attitude. Like, hopefully you'll catch up and you will enjoy that life too. But I'm not going to waste my life, waiting for that to happen. So all the best of luck with that. And I'm going to live mine. And I see like a demon here at the back, meaning you have to hide it, give your back to society and not show them, because they're still thinking thoughts of maybe fighting you, attacking you. They may have evil thoughts towards you, whether it's because some others would wish to live this life, but they feel shameful, or they feel like it's wrong. And so it's going to stir up a lot of emotions, I believe, or a lot of attack. That's exactly what I see here, my dear pile number 2. And you're not afraid, because that part of you, as we saw in the past, that used to be afraid has died. You're so united. Perhaps this is a union of light and shadow. You've integrated your shadow. You're not afraid. You're a strong being. That's how you see yourself, and that's how the world sees you. A very strong being. I don't think with that type of strength anyone can come near you. And it gives you that ultimate freedom to do whatever it is that you want in your world. And you're living it with the fingers here, you're living it in peace. There is an airplane going by. Perhaps in your future, there's going to be a lot of traveling for you as well. Look at that net. Looks like you're catching something. Catching emotions. Ooh, catching emotions. Maybe in your future self is in love. Catching emotions to me is like romantic love. Maybe you're in your future living with someone that you love, because catching emotions to me means love. So also the Queen of Pentacles. So there's balanced love going on here in your future self. You're really living the dream here. I believe you're going to have a beautiful love story with the Queen of Cups here. Perhaps this is because you've balanced, you've become strong, and it seems like you found the one, or maybe you've always had the one by your side and they're always there. In all cases, I catch emotions here, shows that there is love going on in your world. I do not see you spending your life alone. Self-love and romantic love as well. Strong love here. But anyways, that's beside the point. Is the camera tilted a little bit? Let me fix that. And I keep tilting the camera, adjusting it so that you can see. Maybe this is depicting your energy, especially with the mirror here. Yeah, I think you're slowly in your lifetime shifting people's perspectives on how to see the world. You're helping them see themselves and connect with their heart chakra to truly see who they are, what they love, and to have the courage to do what means the world to them. In fact, with this feather here on top of this figure's head, this reminds me of the ancient Egyptian goddess Ma'at, who is all about justice. And so with Ma'at, when someone dies, their heart is weighed against a feather. And if the heart is lighter than a feather, it means that the heart was free from hate, prejudice, envy, all evil intentions, and is able to freely go to the other world. But if the heart is heavy, it means that it was full of all of these things, and then gets eaten by the god Amet, and they don't cease to exist. So here I see that you're really helping to find helping people to find their balance between their hearts and their minds, what they want to actually achieve. You know, you're helping others free their hearts from worries and fears, and to heal feeling disheartened, and to find themselves and to find their power. You're actually going to have a strong effect, such an effect on people in your future, and helping them find their dreams, and not be afraid to look at things from a new perspective with the Page of Swords. Is it really a taboo? Is it really something that's wrong to do, or should they follow who they really are without being afraid? I think that's definitely part here of your mission, especially with adjusting the camera several times. You're adjusting their lens, adjusting the way they see things, helping them live that free life as well. And I believe that in your lifetime, you're really going to help so many find their path. Although it's going to be a slow process, but you will be successful in helping many be very grateful in following their hearts and doing what's right for them, and not being afraid of being called out. Especially that you found a way to do it safely. I think I need to adjust the camera just a little bit again. Anyways, so with the Seven of Cups, the highlight here is that your future self has managed to live every single dream, and there are many here flourishing and blossoming. Every single dream that it has decided to have or wished to have one day. And you're living a beautiful life in your future. And this is exactly what I see in your reading, my dear pile number 2. And exactly what I told you. In the past, there was a pause, but that pause helped you move far beyond everyone else in your future, where you're able to make all of these amazing dreams come true. So we're never late. That's the biggest message that I would see in your story. We're never late. We might be late. We might be later than everyone at some point, but then we might find ourselves way ahead of everyone at another point. And so there's no timeline. And for you, there was a big pause, but oh my God, is your future full of amazing blessings, where now you're way ahead of everyone else. My dear pile number 2, that was such a cool reading. You are such a powerful person, and your reading and this lifetime seems to be all about creating freedom, being free. I love your story. My dear pile number 2, this was your reading. I hope you've enjoyed it. And if you have, please give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel so that you never miss a reading that I upload. And please don't forget to check out my 2 productivity books. They will truly help you out in your journey. I'm sure they will help shift your mindset into so many things, helping you manifest your dreams. The Productivity Handbook teaches you how to become a productive person right away as soon as you finish the book. It's full of techniques on how to help you handle even the most intimidating tasks very easily. And it's full of brilliant ways to look at productivity. And it teaches you how to have a healthy mindset towards productivity as well. Because it's a journey that is not meant to be gone through with suffering. Because if you suffer doing anything, at some point you're just going to drop it. And so it really teaches you how to enjoy that journey. And it teaches you how to not depend on motivation, because motivation is a feeling that comes and goes. When it's there, that's amazing. When it's not, then you're still going to do what you want to do, what you need to do, and enjoy it to get closer day by day to your biggest dreams. And if you're interested in checking it out, you'll find a link to this ebook down in the description box. There's also an audiobook if you love listening to your books. And while you're there, you may also want to check out the Productivity eCookbook, which was also done with so much love and care. This book, I've partnered with a nutritionist that I really love and believe in to bring out to you 210 recipes of healthy and delicious meals that are cooked in a matter of minutes. That's the whole idea. Giving you the rest of the day to do what is important for you. In this cookbook, you will find the navigation very easy throughout this 210 recipes. You know, once you find the recipe you want to check out, you click on it, it takes you straight to the page. It has clear instructions on what to do exactly, and so you'll be able to do it whether you're a good cook or not. Clear nutritional values, a clear picture. In there, you'll find, you know, breakfast, lunch, dinner, supper, salads, desserts, smoothies, you name it. It's all in there. And if you're vegan, there is a vegan version. If not, you can even make use of both ebooks, and you'll have a plethora of healthy and delicious meals to choose from, perhaps even for the rest of your life. And if you're interested in checking it out, you'll find a link to it down in the description box. And my dear pile number 2, first of all, that was such a cool story. I'm wishing you the best. I can see you're moving away from all of that. You're finding your power. You found your power, and the rest of your life seems to be like a dream come true. I wish you the best of life. I wish you the best of luck with that. May you have a beautiful life, and I'll catch you in the next reading. Bye. Hi, pile number 3. Welcome to your reading. You have chosen the beautiful Sodalite, as well as the card, as I've Googled, it's pronounced domestico. And by the way, this is an adjective in its masculine form. There is a feminine form as well. So we'll keep that into consideration. All right, so that's how your card looks like. That's what your card looks like. My apologies. Let's keep it there. And as you can see, we've divided your reading into 2 parts, because in the first part, we'll take a look at how much you have grown from your past self, and then we'll be taking a look at who your future self has become. All right, so now let's take a look at your oracle cards. Wow. So you have the cloak with camouflage. Powerful energy, but very hidden in nature. Let's find out more. You have unleash your passion. Talk about cloak and then unleash. It's crazy how sometimes I really feel the cards are totally communicating to us. Sometimes, I think all the time. And I think your crown chakra is activating here, and even looks like a brain. All right. You have, so here we have city dweller, and we have a couple of keywords on the city dweller card. Socialite, working class, innkeeper, and shop owner. How about we keep it right there? We'll keep your crystal here. And now let's take a look at your tarot cards. So you have the 9 of Wands. You have the Page of Pentacles, represented as the Page of Coins. Wow. Okay. This gives me energy as someone who was lucky at an early age. Like, if we're talking business here, I know this may not be business, but I don't know why with the fox, the shop owner, the Page of Pentacles, I'm getting this idea of business and money. I don't know why, especially with unleash your passion. Why would that part of your past, maybe that's the part that you were fixing in your past. See, I see someone with the Page, because Page is early. This is young energy, but we see them like nicely dressed, and they have a lot of blessings. So it looks like with this pile, there's this story of being lucky at an early age, somehow, with something. Maybe you've had wealthy parents, or maybe you had skills that the people around you didn't have. Something. We'll find out. All right. So you have the 2 of Cups. Something very alluring here about you in your past. You have the High Priestess. All this hiding. What is going on? Okay. Wow. Interesting story. Let's see. Socialite. You have the Two of Pentacles. I have the idea that you were juggling so many things. Maybe you were such an ambitious person. With domestico, it's like something that you already have. Like you did something on your own. You know, when we say you can find it domestically, you don't have to import it, you don't have to travel to get it. It's like you did your own thing, maybe. Maybe you're a very passionate person with the Nine of Wands. It's like you may have had so many responsibilities. You see how they're carrying all these things. Maybe at an early age you had so many responsibilities. Maybe you didn't want to live the life with the domestico that was maybe in your house or your neighborhood or your friends or something, and you decided to stand out. You knew you had so much power to you, so had so much skills with Unleash Your Passion, that you could do something on your own with the shop owner here. Like you can do your own thing. And you are a very passionate person who wanted to break out of, perhaps the cloak could be the things that were weighing you down. You felt like it wasn't your place, maybe, and you felt like you wanted to take off this coat and be presented in the right way. You felt like maybe you were in the wrong place. With domestico, maybe some of you even had to leave their city, their state, their country, their field, something like that. And look at you. You are someone who's filled with so many skills and so many talents that can help them in so many directions. And maybe even to you, you felt like you have so many options to choose from. Where is the problem? I don't know. How should you grow from that? This pile's gonna confuse me. Something's tying you here, though. And what are you hiding? No. This pile is so cool. Let me go on and see. You have the Five of Pentacles, though. Okay. And you have the Seven of Swords. It was a tricky road for you, it seems. Because it looks like it started off, although you had all of these talents and you made it pretty early, or that you've reached positions pretty early that maybe others haven't, you felt tied down because I think you got all of this motivation because here it seems like you had to tread a tricky road. Maybe you felt that you had to work harder than others because of all the either responsibilities or the things that you wanted to achieve that weren't there. And I feel that you have this energy of, I'm going to do it on my own. I'm going to take matters into my own hands and I'm going to take myself out of this. And Five of Pentacles, there was some lack in some area. I feel like there is some disadvantages happening here. Perhaps someone like took advantage of you or something. Let me translate that. For some of you, it's like you were hiding a big secret, maybe. Hiding a big part of you. I need to think about this. All the cloak here. Why were you hiding something? Oh, it could be you lost your innocence at an early age because you had a lot of responsibilities. Maybe towards your home or something. You maybe had to do many things early. Work early. you realized from an early age that not everything is fair, but that also made you very equipped to face life with so much in such a smarter way that gave you so much advantage, because you had to create that awareness of abundance and awareness of being equipped to face the world in a much smarter way in an early age. And I feel through your energy is that as you were growing, you're such a talented, skilled person. In fact, with camouflage, it's like you can mold to any energy to make it happen. You have so much skills. Perhaps you have the talent of being creative, the talent of being like a musician, a talent of being a great writer, the talent of being great at computers, great at math, great. You have so many talents is what I'm seeing. So many talents. And because of all of these talents, you're like, okay, it gave you the opportunity to do so many things. And you're like, okay, so what type of skill do I need for that? Because I'm definitely going to achieve it. You have that strong power to you. But there was, all of this seems to be amazing. In fact, it's the only pile where I found so much strength in their past selves. Wow. So much strength. And we're looking at your past self here. Your past self has already, because we see you've lost your innocence at an early age. Like you had to wake up to the world at an early age with so many responsibilities, and you were up for it with the 9 of Wands. You were strong. You didn't victimize yourself. You're like, okay, so what do we need to do to fix that? I'm going to have a great life. I'm going to create my own life. But here I do see how you have grown with the 5 of Pentacles and the 7 of Swords. And even in this 2 of Cups, it's supposed to be a card about reciprocity of love, but there is tying down here. I think this means that there was lack of nurture that you needed. And with Cloak, you had to bring your strongest self out into the world to make it work, because you're full of dreams. And oh my God, that type of energy. This is someone who's going to make big things. And so you're a powerful person from a young age, and it's so beautiful to watch in your reading. See someone at an early age who's gone through that, and they've built power, not weakness. So kudos to you, pile number 3. Totally a strong being. But because you had to fight at an early age to go through life, here you're tied down emotionally. You're stuck emotionally a little bit. Why? Because you feel like inside of you there's void. You wanted to get a type of nurture that wasn't there as you were going through life and hustling and making sure you get your dreams come true. So there was lack of emotions, and perhaps that could have kept you tied to people that you didn't want to be around. Maybe these could be friends, these could be communities that you didn't want to be around, but maybe felt stuck to because they were your only source of belonging. It could have been love as well, with the 2 of Cups, maybe being with people who you knew weren't right, were fake, but they were your source of heart food, if I would translate it like that. That emotion that you needed. Seven of Swords shows me that in order to get these emotions, you may not have been around the most honest people. And they could have even kept you entrapped just because they knew perhaps that you needed this emotion. So these people could be, these could also be parents, you know, parents who were manipulative, or a parent that you were trying to please, or friends who you were part of that you were more enlightened than. Because you look at, can you see here? I see someone who has enlightened hair. So I see one eye was open, one eye was closed. You were aware that this wasn't right, but you kept the other eyes closed. You know, you went along with it. And you were never able to fully express yourself the way that you really were. And although you were very smart and savvy with your work and with hustling in life and getting what you needed done, but I see this was your weakness here. And with the High Priestess, this is where you were growing spiritually, or you knew you had to grow spiritually, because with all of this cloaking, here the figure is naked, although the other one isn't. And so even here, this person is fully clothed. So you allowed perhaps other people that you really cared about not to show you their true intentions, although you were very vulnerable with them. But with the outside world, you were very strong, but you never allowed them to see who you really were. You couldn't express yourself freely. So we're seeing like two ends of a spectrum. Some people who didn't deserve it saw everything when they shouldn't, because they weren't honest and they weren't giving. And everyone else was completely shut off. Do you see how the High Priestess here is going like, you're not coming in. You didn't allow anyone in, because with that type of awareness at an early age with the Page, you weren't trusting of the world. And so the safest thing to do to keep yourself equipped and strong, you were absolutely cloaked. But because of this extreme, you felt the need to open up on the other side, and so that went to the extreme when you opened up, even if it was towards the wrong people, because they were the people who were there. Look at this person, has control. The thread goes all the way up around them and around their arm, and it's like, I have a grip, I have control. With the High Priestess, I see the little lights here and the open eye, mimicking this card, open eye, closed eye. I see that you have responded to what you were aware of, that these types of connections were tying you down. You were a highly spiritual being with all of this light. You were aware that it just wasn't right. But just like the haystack here, you know how when we say finding a needle in a haystack, it's like, but where else can I get this type of need or connection and love that I need? And I see here, like outside it's evergreen, and that's what we see here. And so it looks like you've grown a lot of awareness, and you opened up your mind, followed your intuition to not accepting connections like that. Something woke you up. I feel here you have calmly, without any trouble, walked away from these people or these connections without, major fights or major breakups, or I'm not going to talk to you friends again or anything like that. I see that at some point you decided it was time to leave. And you've slowly, calmly, without noise, left these people and decided to explore the outside world. Here I see you've decided, you've grown spiritually because you've decided that it was better off to keep these people out, even if it means being alone, and to walk this spiritual path, to believe in the unknown, than it is to be around these people. I believe this is your biggest growth and lesson that happened to you from your past. And look at that with Unleash Your Passion. I see two people who are very passionate about each other. So let me adjust that. There is healthy love here going on in this card. So this could mean several things. Maybe this just means you've decided you were going to keep to yourself until you find this person. Or this could even mean that you are living healthier type of love now. You found some people who, even if one who truly cares about you and contains you and harbors you, is what I'm trying to say, harbors you, loves you for who you are. And I don't feel like you have to expose yourself to this person in a way that may have been toxic. I feel like this person or you're now around people who got your back, genuinely care about you. And with Unleash Your Passion, you're able to express yourself and express your love safely with these people. I see that your biggest lesson here spiritually, how you've grown, is that you've never allowed these type of people back into your life. You don't any longer tolerate or allow anyone to treat you with that type of shame or manipulation or lies or take but not give. If you've learned to have so much self-respect towards the people who you call close to you, even if they mean the world to you. And you see the High Priestess is walking with bare feet, representing sacredness. You are treating yourself with so much sacredness. For people to be near you, they have to treat you with a lot of respect. And that's definitely a lesson that you have learned. You no longer allow these emotions to tie you down. And it does look to me that at this point of your life, as you're listening to this reading, you do have healthy people around you. And if not, then you are about to have that. But I really have this feeling that you already do for a lot of you. 37 also might be a significant number to you. 13 is the death card in tarot. And so it looks to me like you have transformed your whole situation. With Sodalite, you've learned to upgrade the type of people that you hold close. And that's not in, of course, a racist way. Here, the upgrade is in how people's beliefs, people's ethical standards, and how they treat people in private that is most important. Not just how they look like on the outside, you know, how they really are on the inside. And so here I see a balance in energy of someone who is strong and able to do the things that they need in life. And I'm not surprised that you were able to do that, because you are a strong being and you've used that strength to absolutely refuse these types of connections. You've grown a lot spiritually. I see you've grown wings. Also, there's a growth here, because here I see feelings of shame, but here we see angel wings. And it's kind of like you may have overcome feelings of shame in the past. You don't speak to yourself with shame, and you've learned to love yourself and respect yourself so much, and you hold yourself in such high regard. There's a lot of sacred energy to you, a lot of self-love and sacred energy and self-respect. You no longer allow that type of energy, and I see you're now forming healthy connections. Wow, such a powerful story, my dear pile number 3. What a story. What a being. You're so, what can I say, such an impressive personality. Good for you, my dear pile number 3. You must be so proud. What a character. So, my dear pile number 3, this is exactly what I see in terms of how you've grown in your past, who you have become today. A person who's strong outside, inside, in relationships, at work. Wow. My dear pile number 3, let's now see who you have become who your future self has become. All right, I took these by accident. Let's put them here. Let's check out who your future self has become. All right, so you have, wow. You must be a highly spiritual person, my dear pile number 3. The High Priestess and the Owl. Wow, Wisdom Keeper. All right, look at the key here. You found the key. You found a lot of wisdom to healing your heart chakra, for sure. Okay. For a lot of you, this could have been home issues with domestico. You have received your blessings. Wow. Wow. So the card is power. Now, the keywords in this card are position of authority, fame or recognition, abuse of power, and loss of power. Okay, let's keep it here. And you have, whoa, the 5 of Wands. Okay. You have the 7 of Cups. All right. It just caught my attention because this figure is looking at the cups and drawing a moon, you know, or a figure. Anyways, 7 of Cups. You have the 3 of Pentacles. Is this keeping your enemies close? Okay. 3 of Pentacles. The Knight of Cups. Whoa, look at that. The King of Swords. The Magician, of course. Death card. The Ace of Cups. You have the power in your hands, and look at the key here. I see what this is talking about. And you have the Ace of Wands. So there's no question here that there's a huge transformation in your future. You obviously, the first thing that is not a transformation but has grown is your power. Your power has grown exponentially, and I see that people see you as stronger than life, like someone who has a lot of wisdom and power. You know how characters like, what was the name of the movie? The Mafia? No. The Godfather, like Vito Corleone, No, but I just want to say that type of aura. In your future, you seem to be someone who is very strong, knows how to make things work. People see you as larger than life, a strong character that is not to be messed with, someone who knows what to do. They just know how to handle issues, and someone who knows how to create great wealth. I see the power is in your hands. With this Ace of Cups, it's like you have the key here to do whatever you desire and want. Alice in Wonderland, when she discovered this potion that can help her become stronger, so she can smaller, so that she can pass through the doors or get bigger. So I feel like the key, the power is in your hands to do whatever you want. You're able to receive your blessings, get the things that are important to you. You've grown exponentially with that type of power that you have. Also, your future self has understood life in a level, and people in a level that is far ahead from everyone. You understand the struggles of people. You understand their ego, what they're trying to go after. You understand their lies and manipulation. One look at people and you're able to see who they are as opposed to what they're depicting to you. You're very smart. You're not emotional. See, you have control over your heart here. You've developed great wisdom where no weakness is tying you down as before. And so this ability to have that type of wisdom and control over emotions is helping you do things that other people wouldn't dare to do. Like, you see, first thing I noticed with the Three of Pentacles, this is a card of collaboration. And it kind of makes me feel like you have the enemies close. It means you're not afraid of who you perceive as enemies. You're able to collaborate and do what's good, the greater good, even if you know that they are maybe not exactly the right people, but you're very good at protecting yourself, very good at creating what you want, whether it's for your own good or for the good of others. You're not afraid. You're not afraid of anyone, including who you perceive as your enemies. And that comes with a lot of open-mindedness. And that's why you had the High Priestess and here, of course, the Owl. You understand that it's not about cutting enemies off. It's about doing the right thing and being careful not to allow enemies to stand in the way of the blessings or the great, wonderful things you're creating for yourself or others. And at the same time, doing what is necessary for whatever you're building to be created. And you're perceived as very strong. I feel like your energy is perceived as a threat. Your mind, your strength, is perceived as a threat. And so people, it seems, in the future bow down and they let you lead. I know this is a bit violent, but it's not like that. The way I'm reading it with the Knight of Cups here is that in terms of enemies, they can't harm you. They know that if they harm you, you're able to get your rights back very easily. And so with the head down, it's like they're not going to harm you because they know who you are. That's why I kind of had this energy of the Godfather in the reading. So by yourself, you will have so much power to create everything that you want. I feel beautiful energy here. Your soul and your heart is in the right place. I feel like you want to do good to yourself and others in the future. And you have that type of power. You just know how to do it. It almost seems like magic to people around you. They feel like, my God, pile number 3 is able to do anything that they want. Anything. They have the right connections. They have all the elements, of course, of the magician. They have the resources. They have the mind. They have the power. And you're dressed as white. With all of that power that you are going to have in the future, your future self constantly seems to have good intentions and is not corrupted by that power. You always have an internal compass, and you always have at the back of your mind the goal, where you're going, why you're doing what you're doing, why you're using these powers. And I believe you're using them for change. Especially, it's like the world needs a character like you, because of all of the corruption going on and the lies and the manipulation. Comes a strong person who has good intentions, and with that type of power that looks larger than all of these little corruptions here, to be able to stand up and say, hey, I'm not allowing this false narrative. I'm not allowing these fights. I mean, you can fight all you want, but don't ruin the world resources or something. Don't do the wrong thing. Don't cut off the last tree. Don't take away the beauty of this flower. So you're here as a vessel of change with that type of power. You know how in Alice in Wonderland they would use these animals as a game of croquet? So with the Ace of Wands, I feel like one of the biggest changes you're going to be using with your power is to help the pioneer or birth, with the Ace of Wands, new ways of doing things without using people, without using animals, without using resources in the wrong way, for the pure joy or entertainment, or maybe just to get things done with the Ace of Wands. I feel like you're here to set a strong foot on getting goals achieved, but without using souls or plants. Yeah, all of them are souls. Souls, or do the wrong thing to get it done. And you will have so much power to do that. And perhaps with Domestico, you will have a lot of effect in your country, city, field, or maybe even, Gaia or the world. And this is, look at that. There's exposure here. Maybe even some exposure of some lies that aren't right. And this is exactly what I see in your future, my dear pile number 3. A very strong character. And you starting off being strong and overcoming and not allowing others to disrespect you and holding yourself with such high regard has helped you get in touch with an even stronger power to create and do and achieve the things that you want for yourself and others with such great intentions. Helping with your power do something great. My dear pile number 3, you are definitely one of the most impressive characters I've read for. I wish you the best of luck with what you're doing. Such a strong character, my God. My dear pile number 3, all the best of luck with your future. This is exactly what I see. And if you've enjoyed it, please give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel so that you never miss a reading that I upload. And please don't forget to check out my productivity handbook. It is a book that will truly help your life in... I'm sorry I paused, but you see the hands here? I think that you will leave a mark in the world in changing something big. Sorry. So as I was saying, my apologies, the productivity handbook will teach you how to become a productive person right away. All while enjoying this journey. The productivity handbook will teach you techniques on how to handle even the most intimidating tasks. And these techniques you will find brilliant, helping you enjoy the productivity journey, because it's not a journey that you're meant to suffer through, because otherwise you're just going to drop it. As I say, it's a journey that you're meant to enjoy, and it teaches you how to be productive, whether you have motivation on that day or not, because motivation is an emotion that comes and goes. If it's there, wonderful. If it's not, you're still gonna get up, enjoy being productive, and finish what is necessary to get closer to your dreams. And if you're interested in checking this ebook out, you'll find a link to it down in the description box. There's also an audiobook if you love listening to your books. And while you're there, you might also want to check out the productivity e-cookbook, which was also done with a lot of love and care. I've partnered with a nutritionist that I really love and believe in to bring out 210 recipes that are healthy, delicious, and here's the idea. It's cooked in a matter of minutes, giving you the rest of the day to do what is important for you. The productivity e-cookbook is very easy to navigate. Once you find the recipe that you want to click on it, it takes you straight to the page. The recipe is easy to follow whether you're a good cook or not. It has clear nutritional values, a clear picture of what to expect, the ingredients, you name it. And it has all sorts of meals: lunch, dinner, breakfast, snacks, desserts, smoothies, salads, you name it. It's all in there. And if you're vegan, I got you. There's a vegan version. If not, you can even make use of both ebooks because there are no duplicate recipes. And this way you'll have a plethora of healthy and delicious meals to choose from, perhaps for the rest of your life, ending this dilemma of eating healthy versus being productive. This way you'll be able to eat healthy and delicious food all your life, all while having the time to do what is important for you. And so if you're interested in checking it out, you'll also find a link to this ebook down in the description box. And my dear pile number 3, thank you so much for tuning in. It was such an interesting pile, your pile. I wish you the best of luck, and I'll catch you in the next reading. Bye.